Who would have thought that a Quaker farm girl who was much more at home driving a team of horses would become the leading female abolitionist of her time? Far more radical than her contemporaries on such issues as temperance, slavery, non-resistance, and suffrage for both blacks and women, Abby Kelley was a leader, quiet persistence and with a very strong voice.
Abby Kelley was the most untiring and most persecuted of all the women who labored throughout the anti-slavery struggle. She traveled up and down, alike in winter's cold and summer's heat, with scorn, ridicule, violence, and mobs accompanying her, suffering all kinds of persecution, still speaking whenever and wherever she gained an audience, in the open air, in schoolhouse, barn, depot, church, or public hall, on weekday or Sunday as she found opportunity. Frederick Douglass.
Now today we're standing at Liberty Farm in Worcester. Another important function of the farm here, the Fosters used it as a way station for the Underground Railroad. Now it wasn't something you would hear about in town. The Fosters never commented on any of their abolitionist Underground Railroad activities. But it wasn't uncommon to see slaves wandering around these farm grounds, getting their strength back for their push north to Canada. Matter of fact, one of the stories that's been passed down is Alla, Abby's daughter, was found on the front porch by some visitors who were coming to see her mother, helping a slave learn how to read. There's one story in particular that stands out that gives you a good indication of just the type of character Abby Kelley had. She had just been on an extensive speaking engagement throughout upstate New York. She returned to Worcester tired. It was 1851, and the Women's National Convention was being held here in Worcester. And Abby attended that convention with no real goal of speaking. However, she became upset when many of the women were very well dressed, very affluent, very selfish views, and there were no anti-slavery resolutions being offered. And she felt compelled to take the floor. And she stood up and she said, "I did not rise up to make a speech. My life has been a speech. For 14 years, I've lived the cause in every aspect of my life. Bloody feet, sisters, have worn smooth the path you trod." The Bloody Feet speech became a metaphor for the women's rights movement, a reminder of all the female pioneers in the past who had made their way forward. All from a modest Quaker background, quiet farm girl who believed that no one was free until everyone was free.